Well. It's time for another live stream here on YouTube. Well, I'm back from my holidays. As you look around to see my apartment, I am back. Finally back. Oh man, I'm happy to be back, from back home. But I'm going to tell you about a trip I had last night. You know what that was? Oh, talk about it. First thing I did, I went down in downtown London. I was getting hungry, so I went in Subway, had a nice submarine sandwich, enjoyed it. Come out again, and after I bought a Spectator, and I read about TD Bank, buying out the down at the Talbot Inn, the London Gardens, and the Talbot Inn. I read about that, and I thought, okay, that's odd. Thinking, oh, buying this out, I guess. They're doing the same thing as the cops. But our cop, what they do? They take all the homeless people, dump them in North Bay, fire out of sight. Because they said, and when a homeless person comes into TD Bank, have money to deposit, they turn them away and tell, oh, we can't bank here. Sorry, no address, no banking. See? And so they go to, well, what happened next? In this case, they go to Ridian, and yep, and they get able to account. Or a homeworker had a bank account TD, and on the street, and they show you a sec. Know what they do? They turn around and say you can't bank here because you're homeless. Sorry, they discriminate against the homeless. And worst part, build that on homeless people. What did they do? Big fence up in front of the Salvation Army. Why? To hide the homeless people, and that's the only reason why. They want to make sure that anybody going into a new Coliseum down there, TD Coliseum, guess what? They weren't going to see them, but people live in the area can. But I was out in Dundas Street East. There hardly any homeless out in that area. I was down in downtown London. It's tip is like Miami downtown when I first moved to Hamilton. Boarded up stores and stuff, like King Street was in the 90s. Anyways, well, you know what I know? One thing I've been, well, I'm glad in one way that I'm not, in, there, but Airbnb, the ride back now on the train. Okay, after downtown, I going through, went to library, it closed. I want to sit through Galleria Mall. I sit through what used to be called the down London Galleria Mall, which is now called City Plaza. So I went in, and it dead a dead can be. There's only what? You know how many tenants in there left? Oh man, three tenants, the whole freaking mall. That's it. I went through, walked down through, and first packed the computer, cell phone repair shop, Dollarama, and then the empty store past that, another empty store. And then right, I went up the elevator to the second level of it, because I know the empty store throughout the second level. So I roll on across, and I know what I seen. And I seen quite a few homeless people there. I took the elevator down a level from there, kind of carrying a luggage suitcase. I said, okay, took the elevator down a level. After I done that, you know what I thought about? Oh, okay, then I was walking down, and I passed, by the walking on one business in the food court, one little convenience store there, and one little business in the food court, Subway, all places. This ate one other one. I'm looking, I said, what the hell? This is a dead mall. I did a quick video on YouTube, but I didn't post it on YouTube yet, but it's done on my phone. Just gotta go and post it soon on my regular YouTube here. Anyway, so well after that I turned around. I made it all the way to the Via Rail station in London, got there, and all kinds of construction. I had to go to the bathroom. So when the Via Rail, and no nice thing Via Rail got, a gender neutral bathroom. Anybody go male, female, can walk in there and use it. It's like all gender bathroom. I never, that is pretty good, pretty European like. And they're doing a lot of big renovation to a train station in downtown London, which is really nice that they're doing that. And I'm happy they are doing this renovation there. But also, it's like on we're going. So then I waited good a couple hours in the business class. I had a few cups of coffee, a few cans of pop. And I brought a couple of them back here, a couple of cans of ginger ale from the business class lounge. Well, what did I do? I so raided the fridge and brought a few back. I got another can on a train, not about raided about four there, not 5 cans that pop. I raided them real well. Business class brought a couple back here, and I realized that the Quebec stuff, well, I had to learn the food. Then I get on the train, and it arrived on time, but my God, it was slow. I get out of London, it was okay, moving along at good speed. Get half, almost just about a little bit before Woodstock. It was snow was coming down, heavy. It was blowing. You feel the carriage is shaking doing that. And I'm thinking too, these Simmons class locomotives, European Simmons locomotive on this thing. I don't. Hopefully the snow don't get in the intake vents in this thing and cause this thing to shut down. Because there've been complaints in Amtrak about toilet freezing up and stuff like that, and where Simmons had to fix the defects big time. Anyway, so what happened then? I'll go through this, went all the way down, went through the hole, went down, where it went, and it was slow. They were moving at a very slow rate of speed because of the heavy snow. They couldn't see. The locomotive operator couldn't see and stuff like that. But it was a lot, and London had a lot of snow. And finally we, pulled in Brantford after 2 hours, on a 2.5 hours, pulled in Brantford. They're going so slow because of the weather. It left Brantford and it was dragged along a bit, and then another hour and a half later, it pouring into Aldershot. Oh, I get off the train in Aldershot, and then go to Simmons car, very nice. They got a display up on the ceiling that tells you where the next stop is coming, plus advertisement. Oh my God, Wi-Fi and now that new car is superb. The best Wi-Fi service, public Wi-Fi I ever used. I used to watch YouTube on, and I watched YouTube very clear, and it so perfect that it was, and I look and say, I got dig it. And I asked the conductor on a train about, and he told me because the Via Rail had a deal with Starlink, and he car come from Europe come from Germany with the Starlink already built in when they come for that person. And we just had to activate the service. So I was using Starlink all the way down watching YouTube, all the way down on pretty much to Hamilton, listening to music, everything. And it sounded good on my phone because I couldn't believe that I was using Starlink on the train. Now, that's what they use, which is a really good service. Oh, I wonder why Miles in transit say that was good service and he had used it. It is definitely good service. Anyway, so, well, anyway, by the time we make it, by the time we get to, Dan had sitting in a sack bus shelter waiting for the freaking bus to Hamilton. Finally, it came, and the weather was so bad when I go coming out on that bus into Hamilton. The bus had to go really super duperly slow, and it was the road was bad, and you couldn't go full speed, and it was very dangerous, very icy too. I got into London, got into Hamilton finally, and we stopped back at the where student residence, dropped off a university student who they dropped off a few students there, and then they dropped a couple of students off at the residence, and and then from there, and what I did, I got on my phone there and called the resident manager for the residence and let them know, hey, there are a couple of students returning to go back to school on Monday. Can you and it right away? Could just let them in, let them get to the room, and uh, and I and I sitting on a bus. I sitting out here on this go bus out here, and the resident manager, you know, walked walked up to open the door from on the phone to me, and I told him, okay, yeah, well, guess what? Siri, who seemed to be a local 3906, they said, open the door and let you in. Well, yeah, you would have been standing all night, God damn no. And then, and the guy on the phone, yeah, I said they would be standing all night because they wouldn't open till Monday or about till Saturday night, actually. Wow, yeah, I know. But, till tomorrow we open back up again, yeah. But we can let them in because, I let them in because they are students. We don't want them freezing cold all night waiting for us to open the door because it's very so cold anyway. So it doesn't matter. And then that time the bus was pulling out from there, going down Main. Finally gets to the Go Center, and right across the street there were 1A King. I tapped off the Go bus there and proceeded all the way to over across the street. The King got on it. It was bad. The King was moving along slow. I talked to somebody going female to male. Great conversation I had with him. Yeah. And he asked me all kinds of questions. I was answering pretty good. I said, would I get attracted to women? And I said, yes, you will, with the testosterone and make you muscular. Also make you very, very attracted to women, of course. With me, it's the other way around. They're very attracted to men, basically. I explained it. Well, I also explained, he wondered about this too. I said, one thing you do as a trans, when you can give birth to a baby, the roles with trans man and trans woman are totally reversed. The man had to carry the baby. The female don't carry a baby. Because the female can't carry a baby. But I can't carry a baby myself. I don't have the proper equipment to do it anyways below. But the trans man does. He can get pregnant. And that's something would be really odd because sometimes it can really cause problems in the fraternity ward in the hospital too. I said, you got to watch out for anything like that, like, and it race it in the fraternity ward by saying, or a doctor coming in with labor pains, and a doctor thinks you got a bad stomach ache and don't realize that too. Well, I got home, and the ODSP. Well, the ODSP did. Well, the Ontario Disability there said this. I got a letter from them. Oh, it says we can't approve that you under screening mental hardship while we're looking at your income and all that. We looked at you, we're getting an old age pension. Oh, my God. I have a 10-page freaking letter denying the waiver, saying, well, you applied for a waiver, it doesn't exist. And that, it basically saying that, telling me to ordering me to withdraw the whole pursuit. Wow. Know something? No, I'm not. This is really bad. They made a mistake. They don't own up to it. Well, if we don't own up to it, I may just I just might have to file a human right complaint on against the ODFP, saying that they picked on senior citizen with no business trying to take money that I had no business to take, taking the gains, and I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna pick on. I'm gonna say this is a human right and get in, start doing some negotiation. But the next step I'm gonna do when soon next week, visit again to legal about this and tell everything all about this. And set up a point to see a lawyer and have the lawyer read all this, have all this photocopied, get it be read again. The lawyer would read it, and I want to get the lawyer to turn around and really seriously. And this time, it was having at Toronto. I know how I will be. I will get to Toronto. I will attend that appeal in the Toronto courthouse. I have to, but I will do it. Because I'm getting tired of being shafted around by a bunch of people who all they want to do is load upon, and they sit, their taxpayers, right to know, affected that. Well, big deal. Somebody made a mistake, and I'm gonna prove them wrong. And if they don't agree with me being present, you know what? And I'm gonna show up, really make it hard. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna show up, filthy dirty, put the dirtiest clothes I got in here on, go to Toronto that way, show up very dirty and very bad and really smelly too, like this, show up like be a transient in that courtroom. I'm gonna look at it, I'm gonna feel that, and I don't want to do it, but yeah, and stick some and stick some stuff in a food bag just so I can rinse it. And I said, you know what? You put me, I couldn't pay my rent. I ended up homeless on a damn street because of that. Boom, boom, boom. And I'm not going to lie, but I almost tempted to say that just for, but really, I'm going to say because I cannot afford to do my wash because I have to use all that money to pay rent, and it costs me a fortune now. I got, but now it costs me $580 a month. That's a hell of a lot of rent. And I just cannot, that or if I pay the overpayment, I won't have the money to pay the rent. If I pay the over one or the other, then I get evicted on the street. And this is what will happen if I have to go through and pay this money back, because you said I got a check for August, but I got the check end of July for not officially August, I'm going to say a check for deposit overnight on that last day of July. So what considered July with the check for August never came. But they're going to say that they're saying August. Now I'm going to clarify because the date was 31st of July, and I can prove it right there. Now, 2026. So, the last business day on that month it was applied with my other check that came in from the gains that I have not gotten since you guys took over. You guys been taking it. Then that demand me to pay more on top of that. That is, well, what did that tell me? That told me too much. It told me two things that, if you don't stop pushing this on me, if you don't continue on this, I will be taking more legal action, and this time I will be suing I'll be taking a lawsuit to the Ontario Human Rights Commission, and I will make a human rights complaint against ODFP, against this harmless what you're saying to me, trying to get away with it, and I gotta put a stop to this, once and for all. And and I'm not joking. I said, I better stop this nonsense once for all. On Monday, I shouldn't have to put up with garbage from a bunch of people in three-piece suit. I said, I got a bunch of people sitting in three-piece business suit in the office tower. Oh, this is what I gotta say to them. Oh, I feel like giving a piece of my mind right at that point. You waive it, or you get us, or I'm gonna take you to court. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go in. The next step is I'll put you on. I'll put the Ontario ODP on trial. How about that? You know, thinking about it. Or then I'm gonna go to Mounties and demand a proper investigation into this. Because somewhere, someplace in the chain of command here, somebody made a mistake. They should not put that check out. They made a mistake. Well, I didn't make a mistake there, but what happened? A check came out with deposited on the 31st day of July when that money was deposited, processed, put in my account. Now, if you think about it, and the worker didn't start doing it till the following day, so later that day, so the following day after the deposit, then kicks an overpayment, make me pay that money back. Now, honestly, I am not happy, and this is where the mistake was made. See, with delay on doing that, as a result, I get an overpayment, and I'm being accused of not paying it back. I believe I'm pleading not guilty. I've been not guilty on grounds that somebody in the case, my older caseworker made a mistake, and she don't own up to it. And I think, if anything, that should be taken off her paycheck and made to pay back. Yeah, because I'm tired of this. I'm tired of seeing you guys say, and I'm going to be honest about, because I mean, this is hard on me to try to think, and I got bills and bills and bills to pay at the end of the month. If I need a dental work, I gotta pay for it. If I need to get new hearing aids, I gotta fork out money to pay for it. If I need to get medical too or OHIP, I have to figure that how to get covered. Drugs have to pay for those. So everything, that adds up to a heck of a lot of money I'm putting out in a month. Even so, and if I were to put this out, I would not be able to afford my dental insurance. I would not be able to pay that. I won't be able to pay my pharmacy for medication because of that, and I won't, and things like that. These are things you got to do all day. When you're on ODP, you're getting out that covered. Not all day. You don't get that. I have to pay for all that now, and it's not easy when you got somebody demanding an overpayment that I cannot afford to pay. Basically, it means pay that and miss a month's rent and get kicked out of my apartment. Cause that almost a lot of money, over $1,000 right there. And you are just so damn stupid. You added more money on top of it. We're already taking the gains amount and over a whole year. That could have been that well covered it. So why you asking me to triple on that amount and keep adding on to it? I'm going to say that. I don't even know why, and I'm not going to pay any money back now because I've been dealing with this for over a year now, and you guys drag your feet. Ooh, you guys just want to sit there and email things late for the time I get the next date or so. By the time I got a letter to you about the next review date, that already is coming 2 days later. So, I mean, I can't keep going on like that, not knowing, and I'm tired of not getting my gains I hope to get because I know that helped me with seeing that how I've had to pay that gains amount I get out pay my bills and it not getting paid. A period. So I'm not even getting gains. I had matter of fact all the money in my gains are being taken away for and payment to you guys took that away. You use that to pay back or be more cares. You can stop taking my gain, get my gain back, or else I'm gonna start, or I'm gonna take a lawsuit. I'm gonna sue you for all the gains allowance I did not receive for the whole entire year, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put attack interest on it, or I'm going to hire, go to a collection company, calculate out the gains I'm supposed to receive a whole year, go to a collection agency and get the collection agency to come after you get the money, and they're going to pound you for it hard. Now, because you took my gains away, you didn't pay back. And not only that, but on top of this, the money you want me to pay back, it really, I can't even pay it. I can't afford to. Over 1,000, almost 1,000, over 1,000, I can't pay that. Well, thing is, you are you are screwing me, and I gonna. Well, I want to screw me. I can make, I can do one or two legal things next. You know what that is? Next week, I could go to the courthouse, file a province-wide injunction against the Ontario Disability and Welfare. And by doing this injunction, it will block you from that will block everybody from filing, getting their money, and they're going to be out, and they're going to create a very serious homeless problem. And who will be to, and not, and who will be held, and then I'm going to say, you didn't do that, you didn't waive it. This is the price. You got homeless people can't pay rent, and they can't do anything, and they like literally, basically, and I will grant a waiver or face an injunction. And I will do that if I have to, legally injunction. Unless I go, and it won't be through a provincial court, it'll be through the federal court, a law. Like I would, on top of that, just to make you guys, you know, and you won't be able to operate anywhere in the province until you, and there's a way to avoid all this legal action happening. You can, one, waive the payment today, or to be serious, will be, oh, and it could be I will have a lawsuit put against you. I have injunction against the whole entire ODFP, and nobody gets that. It will create a bigger problem. If I did that, it will create such a big problem. It create a problem, homeless like the world would never seen. People who have a nice apartment or paying rent, apartment or whatever, they won't be able to afford it. While the seniors won't get affected, everybody else would be. So that makes it so difficult for that, and it will make it very difficult to run an offer. You would be forced, or or go to court and start fining the Ontario government ODFP $5,000 per day. Have to go back into the old age pension fund. $500 a day. That means that is about, no, not five, $50 million per day, multiplied by every day that go. And if you don't do that, it saves yourself embarrassment how to pay the money. You should do the waiver, get it done out of my hair. I just don't want to be bothered with it. And I certainly don't. Now I'm getting right. No, honestly, how am I going to say this in court? It's like this in the appeal. I'm going to say, look, Your Honor, this waiver cost me a lot of stress, my age, and put me at very high risk of having a heart attack over this. And that, I'm killing, I have myself die of a heart attack because of this. Number two, it pissed me off because it took my gains away to pay. I want to wait out money for my gains rent. It went to pay you guys, went to cover over fee, and now you talk about taking tax to cover over it. As far as I'm concerned now, the way I look at it, I feel the only way to, and I feel that this waiver needs to be granted. Already suffering from a lot of stuff. I mean, this month I couldn't even get my Prozac because I had to pay for it. I couldn't afford it. I couldn't afford $50, $100 for the. I could not afford to pay for Prozac, and so I out my medication because of that. I do that or pay this. one or the other. Either I sell drugs to pay the overpayment, I would sell street drugs to do that, or not sell the street drugs and suffer for however long, not get a tax refund or take it from there anyway. If I don't, I'm not going to file a tax refund in 20. I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to file a refund in 2026. Why? Two reasons. Number one, you'll take it anyway. What's the sense of filing it? See? Two, I just want to waive. It's really getting to a point where I'm struggling because, you keep throwing curveball after curveball. Now I'm here standing up in person. I did not come down. I come down. They said, look, I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I just want to get this out of my hair, off my chest, get it taking toll on me, and taking a lot of toll on me, and it caused me a lot of stress, and affecting me too. The stress of this is affecting me a lot. It affected me, even though I'm doing volunteer work, people know I'm stressed and wonder why. Like in London, I even snapped at a homeless person on the street because I snapped at him and he was bumming money. I got mad at you, I really flipped out on him too. Now, being this way, all that stress is being caused by you put me under it. Legal system saying I can't get a waiver when I can get a waiver. I know it happened, costing very a lot of stress, and I cannot, have it's gonna kill me. If stress may kill you, it will kill me because I may end up having a heart attack because of this, or end up going crazy. I can't get my pills. I can't pay for them. I have to pay this. These are the things. This is where I gonna have a problem right there. And end up on the street homeless, unable to pay my rent. I don't want to go that route, and I don't want to be homeless, because if I'm homeless or public housing, it'd be hard to get back in, and not easy. I'm not happy about it. So I think I don't know what else to do. I'm at end here to the point where I just want to, you guys are, I can say you guys are free suit on it. I got nothing but trouble. You had cost me my OAS allowance, my Ontario Gains allowance. I'm supposed to get as senior. You cost me that. Then it cost me a tax refund. You are a bunch of business suit fanatics that got nothing more to do and pester little old females with your mannequins. I don't tend to say that. Yeah, and and I believe that this. I asked other people who just gone. Somebody else I knew in Hamilton had ODSP and just went to old age. And did you have this go through? And they say same damn thing, overpayment. Last check I get accused of overpayment. I've been fighting it for years. I want to know how many others. I guess how many other people had this thing now. How many other people got old age and had the same damn thing now? How many? I wonder. I'm not the only one. And I found out I just found out in Hamilton, like there have been about Leopold, other seniors, other people out there, the senior told me the same thing, that they've been fighting overpayment ever since they got on old age. They wish they never got there. Because they're fighting overpayment, fighting us day in, day out. They're saying no money. Always going to happen the last check. So don't even bother. This is what you get when you file old age. You get overpayment, overpay, because you get one last check. One last check, you get overpayment. See? So somebody's saying it came and I got one end of August, which I didn't. I got one end of July. So that not me getting one end of August. That really bothered me a lot. And that really bothered me a lot in a way because of two things. Oh, I don't know what it is. Two other things. Two things really bother me, not really been on my mind. It's enough that now I think because they think I'm a little old senior, they can whomp all over me. And that's exactly what they think. Just don't do that. When somebody goes from oldest P to old age and they treat them like the oldest money, now tell you I really don't owe you goddamn. I don't owe you people any money. I just want you to get rid of this because somebody have done a mistake and I'm fed up with it and I don't want to be anywhere involved anymore. I just want this to end and you better do it or I will have to do some other things I don't want to do. We're gonna have to do is somebody sit down and type up a whole big report on this, and I gonna on top of this, if you don't want that, I'll sneer the OSP all over YouTube to a point where I'm gonna tell people not even bother. I'm gonna tell people there to say, look, I think there's a bit of scam going on here, where workers are where what is happening. I think there's a bit of scam going on, like something is not right. And I know that sense. But something not right, Your Honor, I think something not right. I just over it. That my last check, I get dinged with over it. Well, so I don't know why, and it wasn't for about a half check. And that last one I got for in July. Now, I don't know why I got dinged with that. I only got a half the sec from payment from July the 1st to the 23rd. Well, to the 23rd, and then I got other payment. So because of that, it is, because of it, I'm going to say the payment I received was, for that amount. Then I get told on overpayment. I mean, that is sort of, I tell me through it's behind the scenes. Somebody behind the scenes been skimming money somewhere in the scene and hold me accountable for it. And that's exactly what I think somebody's doing by doing that. So yeah, I think so, Your Honor. I think here I'm gonna say, go, Your Honor. I think somebody's skimming ODFP, taking money because I'm not the only one had an overpayment when it get on going to ODFP, old age pension. Old age pension called. Going to old age social security. I'm not the only one. There's other I found out actually I asked being part of on a seniors network we have, a senior citizen, I started asking other seniors in my building while living in about it, and they told me stuff like they had ran into this numerous times. I asked other seniors across. I've been putting information out, asking other seniors across the province, yeah, about this if they've been having overpayment. I found out almost every senior citizen that gone OSP for into old age in Hamilton area have been getting overpayment and fighting it. Like I've been fighting mine and getting nowhere. And also I found out people in Toronto and the other cities were getting when they go to old age. They get over. Oh, I found out he dug a few cases up in the northern Ontario, couple of cases, Bracebridge, where people gone on old age pension, ODFP, and know what happened? They have been they have been on to it too. They got it, and I don't know what else. That what had been happening. Other people have gotten this. I've gone to that and I've gotten the overpayment. I found 3 or 4 cases where a person moved from Hamilton to Bracebridge. They got old age, and then they get told they got an overpayment. with on their last check because of their haven't really got the address changed up there, but they got target checks in there in the mail. I heard of people. I read a couple other cases, and they were there were a person was in Hamilton OFE and got fed up, moved up to Burke Falls, started getting old age, get a letter from a Hamilton office, you got an overpayment. See, now, see what I mean by that? This is not fair to anybody, not fair to me. It's not fair to me at all. It had happened to many other senior elderly people have been told the same thing about same people, same one. So in the evidence I see is somebody when they get that last final payment, they skim money, they turn around, they give me the final payment, then they turn around and then sneak money off, sheer money off that payment, put it in their pocket. I think somebody is cheating somewhere, somebody committing a fraud, and not me, but somebody in the federal provincial government doing this. And I think that time that maybe, because the next visit I will pay to Premier Doug Ford, and I will tell him the same damn thing that I told you. If you don't, and you better think about it. Well, I technically, I could demand an investigation. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna get a hold of Canadian Secret CSIS and ask to demand a public investigation to ODFP, find out if they were stealing money from people that I shouldn't have, and stealing that money, skimming money. Because I didn't know if there's fraud somewhere. I believe it. And maybe I could take this to a Mounties RCMP too, and advise them. Maybe I may just do this because I've been fighting this overpayment, and I believe that I'm going to start asking. I should ask anybody ask RCMP to investigate. Well, I'm going to do something. I'm going to talk to Dundon and go pay a visit again to the legal service, to McCreston Legal Services and Swington Legal Service in downtown London, former Century 21 building on Tuesday. And that's what I'm going to be telling them. Hey, this is a problem. Fix it. Log over. Okay, yeah. What happened here?